I am Katana. Nice to see you again, Patty.
Hi, Katana. So great to see you again. You're looking amazing. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Just a quick note on our channel. We are here for educational purposes only. We do not intend to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Always consult with a physician or other qualified healthcare providers before embarking on a new treatment, product to use, diet, or fitness plan. Hey, Katana, who do we have here today?
We would like to welcome a beautiful and very talented Miss Sheila Hay. A very warm welcome to Miss Sheila Hay.
Well, I just like to say thank you to you two beautiful ladies and for inviting me here today. It's an honor and a privilege to get to be on your call. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you here with us. We have been watching you helping so many people with this groundbreaking technology that activates stem cells and so much more. Miss Sheila, how did you start with this?
Well, my story actually starts back in 2018 when I had my fourth knee surgery. And I have zero ACL, and they removed the final bit of cartilage. There's no scar tissue, and it was just bone on bone. And because I'm allergic to all opioids, I spent 6 weeks on an ice machine 24 hours a day to alleviate the pain. It would be cycling 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. And when I was finally able to get up and walk, I had to learn how to walk again, and I was using a cane. And that was up in Alaska. And then in 2019, in May, I ended up moving here to Maui and met my best friend here. She moved a week after I arrived. And Kathleen in 2019 gave me a patch. And she said, normally we put the patch back here, but you put it on your point of pain. And the surgeons had told me that I would have pain for the rest of my life down at the inside under my knee. And so it was truth. I'd cried for 2 years solid. Every day I cried. And I put that patch on, the X39, and 3 hours after I put the patch on, for the first time, I could kind of just go like that on my knee without excruciating pain. And I started crying again because every day I'd been asking God for a miracle that would just be enough miracle to take away pain. I wasn't asking, make me have more cartilage or give me a new ACL. I just wanted some pain relief to go from a 10 maybe down to a 6 or a 7 or even a 5 if I was lucky. And fast forward 6 weeks after using the patch, I quit walking with a cane, and my pain level just continued to decrease. I went to the LifeWave convention in January of 2020, and I met Marcy and Peter. And one of my favorite things and Marcy, we laugh about it all the time, is that we danced. And it was the first time for 3 years that I was able to dance. And I actually left my cell phone in one of the convention rooms. And I said, oh my God, Marcy, I got to go get my phone. And when I came back, I realized I'd ran because I was afraid somebody would take my phone. And I said, Marcy, I ran. And she couldn't believe it either. So it's kind of the beginning of my journey. That was 3.5 years ago. I learned how to play golf in 2021. So I golf 1 day a week. I like to go to the gym and work out. And my life has totally been changed.
Amazing. That's amazing. And this is something that you are helping people to learn about this technology as well, right?
That is correct. Jan and I, a friend of mine, Jan, we have a call on Friday mornings, and we like to train people beyond normal business training and just what about this, what this patch is. And on Tuesday afternoons, Kathleen and I are part of our team's what we call the Patching Podcast. We do those 5 days a week. and we bring on wonderful people like you that share their stories about how LifeWave has changed their life as well.
And it's definitely
That is
changing the
awesome.
world, right? It's changing the world. We're finally finding out that we have light in the body, and we're sharing this information, right?
That is correct, because, so many of us, we go through our day and we're taught, I'll be 60 in October. And
Wow.
I remember back when I was a kid in science, we were told that there were 5 separate systems in the body and that they didn't integrate and that they were total complete. The look on your face. Yeah.
What?
So we had your skeletal system, you had your cardiovascular system, and they didn't mesh. And, thankfully, science has grown up, and as I've grown up, and we all are electrical beings, okay? Every single one of us. And we operate at frequencies, which are electrical frequencies, and that is what light is as well. And so we do all have a light body. And what this tiny little patch is literally doing is raising your light frequency. It is.
I like it because you can put it on for 12 hours and go off and do whatever you need to do. You're not stuck in a space doing light therapy, and you know that the changes are happening because you feel them, you see it. I mean, you don't look your age at all.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask you, will you ever take this off? Will you ever stop?
No, I won't stop using the patches. And people say to me, I've had people say, well, what do you mean? You're going to wear this for the rest of your life? And my question, I throw a question at them and I say, are you going to take those supplements for the rest of your life? Okay. Are you going to take your vitamin C or your vitamin A or your vitamin D? And when they answer in the affirmative, I say, well, why is this any different? The difference is that when I put this patch on myself, my body heat is activating it, and it's activating, my light body is then being reflected literally back into my own body. The patch, that it's like a little mirror. Oops, sorry about that. A little wind over there. It's like a mirror, and it reflects specific light frequencies back into your skin that then travel to your brain to start you to produce that copper peptide. And that is the master molecule of our system. And so many of us have depleted our mineral systems in our bodies. And, that's one of the things I take daily also is copper. And I was recently directed by a physician to not just take 2.5 milligrams, but I need to go up to 5 milligrams of copper a day. Ooh. And I think that that's a big issue and concern for a lot of people, because copper is what our body needs to function so that the GHK copper peptide can do its job and help us to create more stem cells. So it's all a big circle, kind of like our patch, right?
I also found out that copper helps take the inflammation out of the body. And it's if somebody has varicose veins, like for me, I have these spider veins, and I started taking copper about 3 months ago, but I was only taking 2.5 milligrams. Now I bumped it up to 4 milligrams of copper, and I'm noticing that my spider veins are actually diminishing.
I'm just looking down at mine now because I'm like,
yeah,
I hadn't even thought about that, but yes. Yeah, I'll share something, and maybe this is not the right time, but my daughter turned 37 yesterday. So I have 37-year-old stretch marks. Okay. And this morning I got out of the shower and I realized my stretch marks are smoother than they have ever been, and faded. And I'm like, wow, I'm looking at my little belly thinking, Man,
Who
I guess,
doesn't want this, right? Come on. Who
right?
doesn't want to put a sticker on their body and have, oh, look at Katana. She's got him. I have him here because this is cool.
Mine's back behind my neck, right behind my hair. Yeah, I do have one under my belly button.
That makes me think, because every morning I get up and I look in the mirror as I'm going to the restroom, and I never even thought about the whole stretch marks because I had them down here and I don't see them. They're not prominent, and I never even realized
Mine
that. And
were that
while you were
purpley
saying that,
blue,
it was
you know? Were they like that? Kind of that
mhm,
purpley reddish blue color, some of it, parts of it, and that's what made
like
me
a stretched
today.
out Linky.
Yeah, yeah, and that was what caught my attention today was like, wow, that's different. And so here we are, 3.5 years since my first patch, and I am still seeing new changes.
Results.
I was last week had my teeth cleaned, and for the first time since I was a teenager, I heard when they're doing the dentist or the hygienist is checking your little pockets. I've had 6, 7, 8 pockets for years,
Hmm.
and I cannot tell you. She kept saying 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, and I'm like, what's going on now? There's still a couple where the big stuff was that it's working, but down here and over here, the pockets have decreased. I don't know anything. Okay, like I said, I'm almost 60. I've had all those pockets for years and years. All of a sudden, they're leaving. The only thing different in my life is the patches and taking copper. That's it. So
Beautiful.
something's changing.
Yeah, we're using it. So that's why we're talking about it. And that's why we're creating this channel so we can connect with people that are using this technology so we can show them that, yeah, it's working, period. Sheila, how do you see this technology in a global spectrum? How do you see this spreading within 10 years, 20 years, 40 years? How fast do you think this is going to be spreading?
Okay, so I know that from just in the 3 years that I've utilized patches, our growth has been exponential. And a lot of the people that are on the patches today are light workers, and like both you ladies and myself. And I know that our mission is to get out and help everybody that we can raise their frequency. And I'll tell you what, this has got to be the quickest way that I know to help somebody. I mean, I have put people on massage tables for years, helping shift their bodies, doing different therapies. But this works faster. And so for me, you know, ideally 10 years, I would like to see it all around the planet. Is that realistic? I don't know. Maybe if enough of us manifest that, then we can have that. But it's a pretty amazing. You're right. We can, if we all come together and have put that same thought out into the container, maybe that's what can happen, because we know how swiftly collective consciousness changes. Just look at what's happened over our world over the last 3 years alone, planet wide. So if that's a 3-year cycle, hey man, 10 years doesn't sound so unrealistic, does it?
Not at all. I'm hoping for that.
I believe if we all come together and like you said, bring that energy to that spot of knowing in 10 years that LifeWave will be all over the world, it will happen.
Exactly. We're already in 81 countries. I don't know how many countries are on the planet anymore because they keep changing, different. One country turns into another, which turns into
Yeah.
three, et cetera, et cetera. But to me, we're in 81 countries. We've got to be at least in half the countries on the planet or pretty darn close to them. And it's just going to continue and continue and continue. The big thing is that we're here to help wake people up to the fact that your body has energetically and innate intelligence to heal itself. And it is done with frequency. And the more that we can share this technology of light therapy, the quicker we can get it out there, more people can live lives that are actually fulfilling for them. You know, so many people are in this like doldrum, you know, you do the same thing day after day. You go to the office, you come home, you make your dinner, you go to sleep. And it's this repetition that it stunts our growth. It stunts our growth emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And I feel like that the X39 patch, one of the things that it really has done for me has been to allow myself to expand in all of those areas, not just with my physical healing, but with, I remember it was 3 months on the patch. I turned around and looked backwards at my life. And I realized that for the last 2.5 years, I had been in a major depression. And you know, when you own a business, we ran a bed and breakfast in Alaska the last 6 years that we lived there before we moved here to Maui 4 years ago. And I had 6,000 people stay at my house over that time. But the last 1.5 years of living there, I had this injury, this knee injury that I was waiting to get the surgery of. So I would have people come to my home and I'd put on the smile. I'd be the hostess with the mostess, and then I'd go to bed at night and cry myself to sleep because it hurt so bad. And, you know, it's one thing when you can do that and you can fool yourself while you're fooling the other people. But when the reality comes to you that, holy goodness, I have been so depressed, and now I feel joy all the time. I felt again like I did when I was younger in my life. And people used to call me, I was the head of the cheerleading squad. They used to call me Sally Rally. And I was always upbeat. And I can cover it up real easy when you're in pain. And I think that the majority of people do that on the planet. I think that we don't acknowledge that we're in pain. And I don't think we acknowledge that pain causes you anger cycles and depression cycles. And I hope that whoever gets to watch this today, just take a look. And if you're wondering whether or not you should try these patches or not, I just want you to look at yourself and ask yourself, are you really happy? Are you really living a life full of joy? And if the answer is not 100% easily yes, then, you know, how can you shift that? What can you do? You know, look for solutions. Well, we have one solution right here for you. So activating the stem cells. And when you put this patch on, the first time you put it on, within 24 hours, did you know you have reset 4,000 genes?
Wow.
Wow. Right?
That's crazy.
I was explaining to the guy I patched yesterday because he has issues about water. That's one thing that, you know, I make sure to tell people, drink your water. So I was talking to him this morning. He's like, I think I can do this. I said, well, the only thing you have to do is put the patch on and drink your water. He's like, oh, water. Yeah. I said, okay, it's like this. You plant a garden, and in that you got little plants that need to grow. Your plants are not going to grow if you do not water them. So your stem cells are like little plants, and you need to water them so they can go out and fight the fight that you need to fight.
I
He's
love
like,
that.
oh, I could do that.
Easy. I know.
I'm going to steal that, Katana. I really like that. And, you know, I recently,
Yeah.
water is, I've always been about water. You know, I was a massage therapist for many, many years, told my clients, you know, drink half your body weight in water a day just to hydrate. And um, I kind of fell off the wagon a couple of months ago, and I ended up getting a severe dehydration to the point where I would wake up dizzy. And so I started to drink some Pedialyte, and a friend of mine who also was battling drinking water. It's not that I don't like water. I love water, but we don't take care of ourselves and we don't do what we should all the time. But what it turned out wasn't that I wasn't drinking enough water. It was just flushing. My body was unable to absorb the water. And so when that happened, I started to drink the Pedialyte, which of course is full of
Sugar.
dyes and stuff and all that good stuff. And I was on a call, a LifeWave call with our team, and somebody messaged me and said, Sheila, you need to look into a company called LMNT. And they take electrolytes. It's sodium, potassium, and magnesium in the water, or in this little package.
Write that down.
Salt. It's salt. And you dump it in your bottles of water. And my favorite is watermelon flavor. That's what I'm drinking right now. Watermelon flavored salt water.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, my life has shifted, and I know that the copper that I'm taking is now being able to be absorbed into my body. The water I drink every day is being absorbed. And so many times when we are drinking the water, it's just flushing out our bodies because we don't have the proper electrolytes and salts in our system. And so now I am recommending to people to, whether you go with this company or not, I know there's plenty of them out there now, but LMNT, it's all organic. And
Is it
and
mlnt.com.org?
Drink LMNT.
Oh, okay. And also I wanted to mention that the copper that we're taking is actually copper glycinate. So that synthesizes better with the cells. Because our wonderful inventor, CEO of LifeWave, is speaking live to all of us, and he's explaining good things. Magnesium glycinate, that's really good too. And he said to take that in the evening, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I think that's to calm the body. And we also have other things like the shine, right? We were talking before, and we all use this shine.
Yes. I was interviewing a gentleman for the podcast a couple of months ago, and his name is Steve, and he's 74. And I've known Steve since pretty much my joining LifeWave. He's and there's Shine right there. And we were both at convention last year, and we were, if you went to convention last year, you were gifted the pair of Shine and Dream. And one of the things that David Schmidt talked about on the stage was that when they were doing the different target group testing and stuff, David decided to be one of the subjects on this. And one of the side effects or benefits is that it increases testosterone. Okay. And love life. And so I interviewed Steve, and funnily enough, Steve had gone through, because you'll find a lot of people in LifeWave are going out and getting these age biological blood testing done to see where they are biologically aged. And when he had finished he went to the convention, he used the bottle, so that's 1 month, because that spray lasts 1 month, yeah. And
$40.
His testosterone had increased by 200 points.
200 points?
Wow.
200 points, okay? And men don't, in our food supply and in the food that we are
consuming,
that's produced, it doesn't have all the nutrients like we used to get in them because of soil leaching and the the pesticides, et cetera. We don't need to go into that, but
Yeah.
it does. Men are having less testosterone. I mean, if you consume a huge amount of soy, that's a problem too. So now with this mist and that Katana is sharing, I mean, wow.
You guys have to get it. The link is below. We'll show you how to get it. You guys have to get it. But also, it helps women's hormones also. So if you're having hot flashes, if you're looking for a way out, don't look for synthetic drugs. Don't look for pills. We literally have the best product on this planet. We really do. It's a sticker, and then you smell it. Well, how hard is that? $40, and the sticker is $3.33 a day. I think everybody can afford that, right?
That's right.
Come on.
Right.
Don't be cheap.
Well, you know what?
Well,
You have to value your life. What value level do you put on your health? Okay. I wish I had known some of the things today 10 years ago so that I could have been not so far behind the curve and catching up on my health and healing, because that's where we're at, and it takes, this has just been bandied about, but 1 month for each decade that you've been alive, wearing the patch to get you to a higher frequency where you are totally, we have people in our team that are in their 80s and they are registered as biologically 35 years old. Okay. All right. I want to be that way. Right. Raise your hand if you want to be 35 at 60.
I feel like I'm 35. I'm 54. My age is actually 54, but I feel like I'm 35. And I'm like, I really want to do the test to see where I am biologically.
I've been kicking it around, and I'm thinking that I don't know why, but I want to do it in 2024. I don't know why, but that's where I want to do it at. So,
well, I can't wait until I'm 150. I can't wait till I'm 150, and I'm going to be with all of you guys, and then we're still going to do this and say, remember back in 2023? Let me show you the video.
Exactly. Because I mean, what do we all want? I'll be turning 60. I've got 2 kids, 7 grandkids, and 2 great grandkids now. I want to see those great grandkids graduate from high school. I want to be there when they graduate from college. All right. So let's say college, that gives them 21, 22 years. I'll be in my 80s. I want to be vital, energetic, and full of joy. I don't want to be on the couch in a ball in
depressed,
right?
Your body hurts, crumbled up, and I mean,
watching Vanna walk.
Or as my friend says, or be in a nursing home, with all the other people. They put you in a little box, give you a TV, and tell you have a nice day. And it's funny because my youngest son, I asked him, I said, what are you going to do when I get old? He's like, Mom, I'll put you in front of a TV and feed you, and I don't want you to say anything from that point. so I tell him that. So what I tell him, that was my youngest son. So my oldest son, I'm like, hey, you're 35. You're starting to lose those stem cells. He's like, I am God, and I do not accept all of this. And I said, that's okay. I'm going to be passing you the other way. So you'll be older and I'll be younger.
The question has been raised. So our friend Kathleen, her daughter is 17. She'll be 18 in 2 or 3 months. And people say, well, why is she on the patch? Okay, well, when Sienna and I were patched the exact same day,
Oh, wow.
she was 15 and 15 and a half or 14 and a half, something like that. Anyway, she had had this summer of darkness, and her friend had passed away. She'd had some really big, huge traumas before they moved here to Hawaii. And the night before Sienna was patched, she wrote a suicide note. And she was very dark and withdrawn from life and angry at everybody and wouldn't shower, and just this girl who was this beautiful child when she moved here. She got patched 3.5 weeks later. It's the 26th of December, Boxing Day in our family, because my husband's British. And Kathleen calls me from Oregon, and she's bawling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? And she says, well, Sienna has been dancing and singing. And she came running to me, grabbed my hands, and says, Mama, I finally feel like I'm me again.
Oh.
Well, this girl has gotten, it's a half-ride scholarship to the second largest dance school in the United States. She graduated May 20th. And she's going to New York, Manhattan, in October to go to school. And people say, well, why do you put kids on patches? That's why we put kids on patches. That is why we patch them.
And what was she using? The Nirvana or next?
You know what? When we got started, it was just X39.
Right.
And we did not, we went, that was 2019, November. We went into 2020, we got locked down really quickly. And so the second patch that Kathleen, Sienna, and my husband and I, we all decided that we were going to start was glutathione, so that we could elevate our immune system. So 100% that X39 did its job. And when I went to that convention in January, that was when we came out with the brain mapping study. And at 6 weeks, what happens is your brain, 6 weeks of wearing the X39 patch, your brain hemispheres are balanced. And that's what was happening to Sienna. Her brain started communicating again, right? So at 6 weeks, we're talking about PTSD, anxiety, and depression are being alleviated or may be alleviated within the body. Amazing. At 2 months, our cardiovascular system is reverse aging. And at 3 months, that's where the collagen is kicking in, which is strengthening our muscles, our bones. Our skin is getting less wrinkly, looking better. Look at that, right? We all get up there.
Like, hello, I'm 52.
And you guys don't look in your 50s. So we're in great company here. But so why would we want to patch a teenager? So that they don't have to go through that, they're going to go through the mental traumas and the physical traumas and everything like we always do. And we all grew up, right? But, I'm a girl that drank water from a hose and it didn't kill me. Okay. But today, I don't think I drink water from a hose.
now it's different. Now it's different. We
don't drink water from a hose today.
No, don't. We have plastics in our water right now. Just to please don't, because we do have.
That is correct. But why shouldn't we give these kids the opportunity to keep their stem cells at 35 and continue to produce them versus producing half of them? Okay. I mean, isn't it a little greedy if we're not going to share with everybody?
Absolutely.
I want my kids to be healthy. I want them to be happy and whole. And you can't force anybody to wear a patch. Okay, you can't.
No, you can't.
I don't know that we talked about that. There's nothing that comes out of this patch and goes into your body. Not a thing. It's all phototherapy. And when your body heat hits this patch, it acts like a reflective surface. It turns into this little lattice, and it literally mirrors your energy back to you. So if I'm not going to put a drug in my body, I wouldn't put a drug in my kid's body. if I'm going to help myself, why wouldn't I help them with something that's non-transdermal, that's going to elevate their frequency and help them shift into a mood? Because frankly, the teenagers today, I wouldn't want to be a teenager in this world. Okay. I wouldn't want to be one. I'm grateful that I was 41 years ago, you know. So
I know it's very hard, especially we have a lot of very confusing messages that are coming about. And I mean, I have two boys and one's 20, one's 14. So, you know, I turned off his social media. He doesn't have social media. The older one, he's fine. He's fine. I can
good
see
job,
that
Mom. I
he's
turned that
fine.
off. That's a hard thing to do. They don't want to.
But it's not up to them. It's up to me because I'm the boss.
Oh,
Okay. It's
That's taking that power.
no. Yeah, I'm the boss
Yeah.
and I'm responsible for them, not for what, you know, right now it's just a little too much. But so we finally have a good technology, and we also have, it's almost like, you know, the yin and the yang. You have the dark and the light, then, and we always have to have that balance. But I feel like this right now is really going to alleviate, right, a lot of things that we couldn't alleviate ourselves. I personally think that learning is growing, and that's what I always say. Please continue to learn. Please continue to grow. You know, this is actually a technology that is going to be like tissues and toilet paper and Q-tips in people's homes. So the quicker people jump on this, try it. For me, I tried it. I gave it to Katana. She's like, yeah. And I also have a friend, Rich, my friend Rich from Lithuania. You should see what he looks like. I have a before and after, and he is I mean, he's just phenomenal.
He's changed even since we did his interview.
Oh,
Yeah, he has changed tremendously
gosh.
in a few months.
Wait, it's
And
actually going to
exciting.
show
it's
you. Can I
amazing
show
to
you really
watch
quick?
it.
I'm going to share screen. See?
wow. Yeah.
73,
Wow.
right? This is when he first started, and now he's, you know, so much better. I just had to share because
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, it
it's
fills
real.
It's real. It's real.
It's finally here.
You know, Kathleen and I, we work at the swap meet. I sell my dragons. She has a booth with just LifeWave, and we met a person the other day, and he says, "Oh, they don't work." And she says, "Oh, really? Why do you say that?" And he says, "Well, because I tried it for 1 week." And she and I both, I mean, she threw her head back and let this huge laugh out. And I'm like looking at her like, you might have hurt his feelings, but you know, she's like, "Sir, this is cellular healing. This isn't a cut on your finger. This is going in. It's resetting your genes. It is helping mend broken DNA. It is lengthening the telomeres. And, you know, all of these different things that most of us have never even heard about, and we don't care about it. And honestly, if I wasn't so into the patches and everything, you know, it's not research that I necessarily would have gotten into myself. However, I like to learn, and I do like, I'm always looking for ways that can help me personally raise my frequency, because that's all we are. We are just a big bag of frequency, you know.
The
And
cells have energy, the brain has energy, and we know that, right?
that's
So we
right.
have to look at that when no one's telling us about that, right? Even though we're doing our cleansings and this and that, but still we're looking in cellular. And once again, it's for every 10 years, 1 month. You have to.
It's 1 month.
Yeah, we tell everybody it's a strict protocol. If you can't follow the protocol, then don't do it. But please, it's just like you have a telephone. You have to plug in your telephone. It's a technology, right? This is another technology. Same thing. There's rules.
Well, and you know, one of the things that I've recently told somebody is that, just like what you said, well, I just want to do it for 1 month and then see how I feel. And I've said, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. If you cannot commit to a minimum of a 3-month program of this, don't waste your money. And the thing is, it's not a huge quantity of money. It is in it's $99.95 a month. Okay. For me, I am making that part of my life important. I'm making it, my cellular healing, important. Can I forego going down to Starbucks? There's not even one that I like. It's Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf is my little store in the street. But I can go down there and I can spend $6.50 for a cup of coffee. And what's that doing to me? It's putting fat on.
Hydrating you.
It's hydrating me with caffeine.
It's killing you. The
Dehydrate.
sugars.
It's terrible, right? It's terrible. It's putting fat on my butt. It's jacking up my sugar, your blood sugar, the cream, dairy, that clogs your system, right? So there comes a point in life where you have to decide to prioritize how your health is important or not. And ladies, we're in our 50s, and today we can say it's important because we all want to live a long life. Both my grandmothers were in their hundreds when they died. Okay. So it's in my genes, and by wearing the X39, I can elevate my genes to their fullest potential. And, I plan on living to be at least 103. So
I think we're going to go up to 500. I just want to say that. That's what I think. But listen, let's see.
Right. Isn't it Methuselah? Wasn't he like 368 or something like that? Old as Methuselah. So why shouldn't we be able to? Right.
That's true. What was they doing in that point in time to be able to live that long?
They didn't have plastic in their water. Yeah, they didn't have fluoride in their water. Pretty sure that the Nile River was not fluoridated.
How are you managing life with the possibility and the expansion of working with LifeWave? How are you handling that?
Well, I've been doing it since 2019. When we got locked down, I kind of checked out of being an active brand partner and was just primarily using, that sounds terrible, I was a user. But I took that 2020 and 2021 to work and to get my master neuroenergetic certification. And then I came back to the realization that I'm having such huge shifting within my own being and physical healing. And I just want to make it clear, this patch is not the healer. This patch is a tool that your body uses to facilitate your healing. And the healing comes within, all of that energy comes within. And so my primary mission, really, when I realized, it's always been about helping people level up in frequency and elevating frequency. Well, here's a tool with a 20-year patent on it that is doing just that. And so I decided last year in April to really get back full throttle into sharing and explaining about LifeWave and training people and teaching about the technology, so that I'm walking my walk and talking my talk instead of just talking it. But I'm a teacher at heart of all things metaphysical, and I just want to keep on sharing it and teaching people about how to use it.
And I think you're having fun too, aren't you?
I, I am having fun. I am having fun. And you know what? People say, oh my gosh, this 9 to 5 job, Well, yeah, we've all had 9 to 5 jobs, or most of us have had some 9 to 5 jobs. But um, this job, right now, we're sitting in my office. However, I could be out on the beach and I can be texting people and calling people, and my office is the beach. I can be working at the swap meet in my booth, and my office is my booth. So, what I have done is not only given myself um, health freedom, I give myself time freedom and the ability to be my own boss and work from wherever I want to. I am not going in and clocking in anymore I was a massage therapist at a chiropractic office for 3 years. Before that, um, my husband and I operated 3 McDonald's restaurants, and I wrote schedules for 250 employees. So I've done it all. And being your own employer, your own boss, and having no employees, that is the sweet spot in life. And so financially, my time wise, and my health, what more can you ask for your own person? Because when you have that, that's when you can go out and have relationship in a positive way. And we can be community, and we can have fun with our family and our friends, instead of we all get together and we go, oh my God, my back aches so bad today. I don't want to hear it.
We're just professional complainers.
That's
I
oh.
I was just talking to one of the boarders, and I asked her if she's coming out this week, and she's like, "Oh, I've done 39 hours in 3 days," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't want to hear that." I'm like, "This is your choice of working what you did. I gave you an option to opt out of that and opt into something that is flexible, easy, and you get to be free." And the other thing is, we all could take our office to Aruba. We could
Anywhere around the world.
Anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
You're not tied down anymore. So many people on our team who have left their 9 to 5s because of this, but it wasn't their intent originally. It was the intent of, oh, I see this tool, I need to use this tool for my health. Okay. And then once you start seeing these changes in yourself, you just can't help it, because people come up to you and they go, what have you been doing, Sheila? I mean, I graduated 42 years ago from high school. I have people that graduated with me that look 20 years older than me. Okay. Yeah, we've all had different life experiences, but that's crazy to me. Why you would ever want to not give yourself the opportunity for something different? Why not want to be able to sit at 12:30 at my time, and we are all having a conversation, instead of me being running a restaurant, right? Or doing intense deep tissue body work on someone.
Yeah.
I mean, your life, your power, your choice.
And that's why we're here
Yeah.
to share this technology with people, because we want to raise awareness. We understand that people don't really know what this is. And for us to have a platform, these beautiful 3 ladies together, raising this consciousness, learning more, is very important to me, especially. Thank you. And I know that you also do extra things. What do you do on the side?
Well, so Kathleen teases me because I say I have multiple passions, and she's like, "Oh, LifeWave has to be your passion." I'm like, "No, I have a passion, and I create what's called organite, and I make dragon eggs and dragon babies and dragons, and organite. Okay, just since we're talking about frequency, it's all about frequency. And I was introduced to it in 2015. And what organite does is that when you have resin, this is set in resin, and then you put quartz crystals. Quartz crystals have electricity like we do. They are piezoelectricity. That's what LCD, liquid crystal diode. And when you put them under pressure in resin, their electricity stays on permanently. And so you put crystals, quartz, and then metal into the resin, and what happens is dirty energy, EMF, nasty attitudes, it's all attracted to that resin. And then the positive frequency from the crystals shifts that, and then the metal pushes clean energy out 24 hours a day. So that's why I started this, was to help people raise their frequency, get rid of the dirty energy around us, because now we're at 5G, right? Which 5G means it's the 5th generation of microwave, which is just being constantly zapped at us. And so I have dragons and dragon eggs all literally in multiple countries around the planet. And one of my dreams is it was actually started by a couple down in Australia, I think it was, or New Zealand. And they gift the world with organite, and they just would go out into by electrical towers, military installations, and they drop pieces of organite. And yes, I can say I've done that all over Alaska and here in Hawaii as well. So that's my other passion. And thank you for asking me, Patty.
Oh, yes. I want to share your creations because you are a beautiful creator, just like all of us. We all create something, right? And your creations are very important because you are protecting the human body and also the world. And I appreciate that, definitely. And we'll put down a link with your information if you would like.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that very much. Yes.
And how much are they?
So an egg this size is $47. And if you're here, you don't pay shipping. But if you're not on island, then I think it's like $5.50 to ship.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. But you can order on my website. I do make dragons that like I'll special order dragons for you. And
you were showing us one. What does that look like?
That little baby. Let me see if I can grab that up.
Oh, that was on your phone. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No worries.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful dragon.
Okay, so here's the baby. And that's amethyst and citrine. And they sit in a little wood nest that I make him. And yes, he has a praying mantis on his head. And it was amazing. I have a video, and this little mantis is dancing on top of the dragon baby. That was really cool. And then, and I don't know that you got to see this one, Patty. I showed Katana. This is as big as my hand. And that's that's tourmaline, pink tourmaline, rose quartz, moonstone, Tibetan quartz eyes. And that's my dragon heads. And they retail out for $200, and then shipping is about $20 for them.
Thank you very much for that. Absolutely.
You can design your own dragon now. So
yeah, come on, guys, give her a call. You need to have this. It's a very good thing for your home. Absolutely. And I'm gonna get one. So that's
yeah.
But I want it to be white, all white.
Oh, moonstone and pearl. I already see that.
Mm-hmm.
Divine dragon, divine feminine. Yeah.
I appreciate you coming. The one thing I was thinking about when you was talking about when we don't realize how good we could feel. It made me think about when I would go to the chiropractor, and he was very good about finding blocked energies. And this is one thing that these patches do assist with, is opening up those blocked energy passageways. And so I would lay on his table, and we don't realize sometimes how much pain that we are in because we get used to it. And so he'd lay me out, and he would take two fingers and barely push on my hips. And I would just cry. And I'm like, why are you putting me in so much pain? He goes, honey, this is what you walk around with every day.
Wow.
Wow.
And I said, no, I didn't have that before I got here. He says, yes, you do.
Wow.
So the thing is that to understand, you might not realize how much pain that you are in every day that you're carrying because you have some blocked energy fields. And as Miss Sheila said, we are light bodies, and we move that energy out with these patches and bring that light into the body, because this is what we truly are, is this light body. And to bring that happiness to the heart, you have to bring that light to the heart and enjoy life.
Thank you.
One of the things too, when you said, I don't walk around with that pain every day, because he touched you and he brought you into your body to the awareness of that pain. And what many of us that are chronic pain livers, right? We live in that chronic pain cycle. I'm going to say I past lived in it. I don't live in that anymore, but I would check out and my soul would pull up out of my body, and I would be like a robot going through my day, but my soul is up here because the pain was so bad and I couldn't take the painkillers. And so we numb ourselves mentally and physically to try to deal with what we're experiencing. And when you can get out of that pain cycle and you come back into your body, your life shifts and you can live life to the fullest that a human can live it.
Absolutely. 100%.
In the body.
In the body.
In the body.
In the body. And that's why we're here, right? We came to this planet to have a human experience. Okay, we all have whatever soul job or whatever we're doing. You know, each one is unique, but we all collectively came as humans. So
yeah, so why do we have a human body and we're up here hanging out while the human body is just like, you know, walking around going, oh well, I gotta go to work today. This is great. And you're not really happy. And to shift the planet, to shift the people on the planet, because Mother Earth has risen to a higher level of vibration. And she's like, come on, children. I used to tell people, beep, beep, get on the bus. It's time to go. We're leaving. And you're going to get left behind, and you'll be down there and I'll be up here. But I would love for you to come with us. I would love for you to be a part of that light. I would love to see that happiness and that joy and that freedom that you deserve.
yes,
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Amen.
Namaste. Amen. All those good feelings.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all of this, you guys. It's been an honor, Sheila. Katana, you look amazing. Katana has so many success stories herself. And we definitely hope that everybody enjoys this show tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever you're watching it. But Go with your life and be happy. Don't forget to play. This is what I tell everybody. Please don't forget to play. And this is just a way for you to wake up a little more with this information.
Well, thank you, ladies, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure and huge. I've really enjoyed this. So
Thank you.
we need to talk more.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to say goodbye for now. And thank you very much, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.